रमण हरि बोल। मन तेरा बोले राधे कृष्णा, तन तेरा बोले राधे कृष्णा। मन तेरा बोले राधे कृष्णा, तन तेरा बोले राधे कृष्णा। जय राधा रमण हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल। जय राधा रमण हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल। जीवा तेरी बोले राधे कृष्णा, मुख से निकले राधे कृष्णा। आंखें देखे राधे कृष्णा, सांसों में भी राधे कृष्णा। जय राधा रमण हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल। जय राधा रमण हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल। धड़कन बोले राधे कृष्णा, दर्पण बोले राधे कृष्णा। अंतर बोले राधे कृष्णा, रोम रोम में राधे कृष्णा। जय राधा रमण हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल। जय राधा रमण हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल। पंछी बोले राधे कृष्णा, भंवरे बोले राधे कृष्णा। बंसी बोले राधे कृष्णा, वीणा बोले राधे कृष्णा। जय राधा रमण हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल। जय राधा रमण हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल। वृंदावन में राधे कृष्णा, बरसाने में राधे कृष्णा। गोवर्धन में राधे कृष्णा, नंदगांव में राधे कृष्णा। जय राधा रमण हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल। जय राधा रमण हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल। मुनि जन बोले राधे कृष्णा, गुणी जन बोले राधे कृष्णा। मुनि जन बोले राधे कृष्णा, गुणी जन बोले राधे कृष्णा। हम सब बोले राधे कृष्णा, सब जग बोले राधे कृष्णा। जय राधा रमण हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल। राधा रमण हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल। जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल, हरि बोल। जय जय राधा रमण 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 हरि बोल। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जनवल्लभ जय गोपी जनवल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन 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 जमुना तीर बन चाली। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। मुरली मनोहर करुणा सागर मुरली मनोहर करुणा सागर मुरली मनोहर करुणा सागर मुरली मनोहर करुणा सागर मुरली मनोहर करुणा सागर। जय गोवर्धन धारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जनवल्लभ जय गोपी जनवल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Welcome to Satsang. We'll begin with a short meditation together. So just allow yourself to sit comfortably and the eyes to close. Allow your awareness to pull in from the outer world the sights, the sounds, the sensations. Pull in from the outer world to the inner world. And allow the awareness to merge with your breath. Don't try to change the breath. Simply allow the awareness to merge with it. Draw all of your awareness onto the breath as it flows in and flows out. And as you exhale, allow yourself to let go. Let go of all of that which is not true self. Let go of the masks that you wear. Let go of the roles you play. Let go of the titles, the identities. On each exhalation, just imagine yourself literally breathing them out and sinking deeper and deeper into the core of yourself. Sinking deeper and deeper into expanded space, into total consciousness. As you exhale, let go of the stories. Let go of the histories. Let go of the personalities. And on each exhalation, feel yourself sinking deeper and deeper into the center of the self. And as you sink into the center of the self, notice the experience of spaciousness. An experience of expansion. As we drop beneath the false roles, we drop into pure consciousness. If you find that the mind is still distracted, you can chant a simple mantra to yourself. You can chant so on the inhalation and hum on the exhalation. It means I am that. I am one with the Creator, one with the creation. I am that. I am all that exists. I am the one who created existence. I am existence. So so slowly bring the palms of your hands together at chest level. And rub the palms of your hands together. Press the palms into your closed eyes. Open your eyes into the palms of your hands and lower your hands. Welcome to Satsang again. We'll begin as always with a question that's come in advance and then open it up to any question that anyone here may have. How do I get rid of the memories that are keeping me from achieving inner peace? It's a great question. If you say to people, why are you not in peace? Because of course this is the perennial question. How do I find peace? Where do I get peace? Every day people come, I have everything. Why don't I have peace? And there's only two answers to it. It's either something that's happening right now that I don't like, or something that happened in the past that I didn't like. Some combination thereof. And of course that combines to give us anxiety for the future, etc. But that which steals my peace is something going on right now or something from the past. And also chances are that that which is bothering you now has to do with something you're bringing in from the past, a wound you've brought in from the past that has made you susceptible to something going on in the present moment. The answer isn't about getting rid of memories. It's not about forgetting what's happened. It's about no longer being trapped by what has happened. There's a big difference between remembering something and carrying it with you at every moment. Somebody once, maybe a few times, at some point in my past, 2 hours ago, 20 years ago, did something to hurt me. They did it knowingly, they did it unknowingly, they did it purposely, they did it by accident, whatever it was. Something happened that hurt me. But I have now carried that from that moment to this moment, and I have held on to it every moment in between. That's my doing. What someone else did was their doing. They will deal with the karmic fruits of that. But I've carried it with me. It's the most amazing phenomenon if you think about it. Someone hurts me. I then use that as an excuse to keep hurting myself. So you abused me, betrayed me, cheated me 5 years ago, 50 years ago. And every day, I make sure that I remember that you abused me, abandoned me, cheated me, betrayed me. And I stay miserable. Now, who's the perpetrator of that? Are you doing it to me every day? No, right? You did it to me years ago. Who's doing it to me every day? Yourself. I'm doing it. Which it shouldn't be used to make us feel bad. It should be used to make us realize how much power we have. Because when I don't feel in peace and I think about what someone else has done to me, who do I blame for my lack of peace? If you are awake, you blame yourself. Most of us don't. Most of us sit there and we blame that guy. You did that to me, therefore I'm miserable. But we've just determined it's my fault I'm miserable now. And what that means is I have the power. Now, first thing I have to do, I have to forgive whatever has happened. If it was a mistake I made, I have to forgive myself. If it was something someone else did, I have to forgive them. If I don't forgive them, I will never find peace. I'm going to repeat that because that is a sutra for peaceful living. Until I can forgive, I cannot find peace. Do not think that you will ever find peace in between your grudges. Do not think you will ever find peace in between all of that which you're holding on to and you refuse to forgive. It is impossible. They cannot coexist. I must forgive. Point number one. However, that doesn't mean what they did is okay. And this is where we all get stuck. If I forgive, then it means I'm condoning it. It means that somehow what they did is okay. No, it doesn't. All forgiveness means is, I deserve to be free. You hurt me. You abused me. You abandoned me. You betrayed me. You cheated me. You are going to deal with the fruits of that karma. But I deserve to be free. I already suffered from your abuse once. I suffered from your betrayal once. I deserve to be free. The fact that you harmed me in the past does not make me less eligible for freedom in the present. But that's what we do. We say, someone harmed me in the past, therefore I'm not eligible to be free in the present. We've double-binded ourselves. So forgiveness means one thing and one thing only. You deserve to be free. That is why you forgive. Not because what they did was okay. Not because we condone it. Not because we want it to happen again. But simply because you deserve to be free. So that's the most important aspect, is I must forgive. The second most important aspect is I must remove, and forgiveness does most of this, I must remove the emotional component from the memory. So memories are actually very good because they teach us lessons. So maybe I got into business once with somebody I thought was my best friend, really trusted him, gave him all my money that I had saved up, like my whole life, and he cheated me. Okay, so I'm hurt and I'm broke. As I move through my life, that grudge, that anger keeps me from being in peace. I need to forgive him. But that doesn't mean that I need to forget the lesson that I learned. It was a very important lesson. Don't go into business with friends. Don't give anyone all of your money. Make sure safeguards are in place. I mean, there's all sorts of lessons to be learned. Forgiving doesn't mean I leave my common sense at the door. So I hold on to the teaching, the lesson, but I let go of the emotional component of the memory. And that is where I lose my peace. And so as I remember what happened, the lesson, instead of being angry and hurt, I'm able to see it with the eyes of forgiveness. The last piece to remember of this, and of course they're all interconnected, is every single one of us, this includes each of us, because as I began with, if you made the mistake, it's yourself you have to forgive. Every one of us is doing the very best we can. Some of us are doing it with a certain level of skill and effectiveness. Others of us are doing it with a different level of skill and effectiveness. There are some who seem to be doing it with zero skill or effectiveness. Nonetheless, on a core level, everyone's really doing the best they can with the toolbox that they've been given. A lot of us have toolboxes that have absolutely no useful tools whatsoever. And what that means is, as we move through the world and situation after situation presents itself and we open up our toolbox, I got nothing. Situation requires patience. I have no patience. Situation requires compassion. I have no compassion. Situation requires understanding. I have no understanding. Situation requires discipline. I have no discipline. What I have is impatience, pain, anger, violence, impulsivity. So naturally, those are going to be the tools I'm going to use as I move through the world. And again, that doesn't mean any of this is okay. But it means that we understand. And we then are able to see both ourselves as well as those who have done things to us that steal our peace as just people with really empty toolboxes. And it helps us get out of that victim-perpetrator mode. I don't feel in peace because I feel like a victim. I've been wronged. I did everything right. I was a good person. I was honest. I had integrity. And nonetheless, I got hurt. And so that steals my peace. And then, of course, I'm afraid for the future. It's going to happen again. If I trust, it'll happen again. So I remember, number one, we forgive. Number two, we remove the emotional component. So I don't forget, but I'm no longer trapped emotionally. And number three, we realize that everyone is moving through the world with their own toolboxes. And my only job here on earth is not to be the karmic police, not to decide who's due what, who should get what, not to keep God's notes of who's hurt me and therefore who's really in for it, who should never be forgiven, who should fall off the cliff, I always say, until and unless God comes down and says, hey, you, could you do me a favor? My secretary's gone on vacation. Could you take over the job? Here's a notepad. Keep lists for me. Until God taps you on the shoulder and tells you to do that, you can rest assured that the law of karma is working as the law of karma works. Doesn't need us to keep notes. Our only job here on earth is to be free. That's the highest goal of a spiritual path, is freedom. When we talk about moksha, it means freedom, liberation. Liberation from what? Well, not my body. Usually we talk about it as moksha, liberation that I get after I die. But it's not my body that's the jail. The body's beautiful, it's wonderful. I mean, yeah, most of us would change something about the shape if we could, or change something about how it looked if we could, or something about it if we could, but we can't, usually. But the body's beautiful, despite the little feelings that we think, I'd like to change that, wish I could do that, wish I had that. Regardless, it's a beautiful tool. It's a beautiful tool to interact with the universe. Our eyes allow us to see beauty. All of our senses allow us to experience the beauty of the universe. So the body itself is not a jail. The jail is the mind. The jail is the mind that even sitting on the banks of Ganga, sitting watching a sunset, sitting in the mountains, sitting on the beach, sitting wherever we sit, the mind is going. How dare that person do that? Why don't I have this? Why is this? Why not that? What about that? I wonder about this. It's the mind. And so spiritual practice is about getting free from the chains of the mind. And as long as I have literally chained myself to what someone else has done, how can I be free? Someone hurt me, so I say, all right, I hook in a chain to my heart, I hook in the other end of the chain into them, and I go through the rest of my life hooked into them. I've just thrown myself in jail. So we forgive in order to be free. And only then can we begin to think about the possibility of peace. Because as long as I'm holding on to something, as long as I'm stuck, I'll never find peace. So forgive. And find that freedom. And in that freedom is peace. In that freedom is a lot more than peace, though. Peace isn't the highest goal. In that freedom is peace, yes. In that freedom is love. In that freedom is truth. In that freedom is joy. All of that which we want exists in that freedom. So ask yourselves, really, is some person who was crazy or just confused or ignorant or in illusion or on drugs or ignorant or with an empty toolbox, is what that person did really worth depriving yourself through your whole life of actually what you've been put on earth to achieve? Freedom? Of course not. But that's now up to us. And you're so blessed to be here on the banks of Ganga, because Ganga takes it. Whatever it is we're holding on to, Ganga takes it. You know, we always emphasize no pollution in Ganga, no trash in Ganga, which is true and essential. But the beautiful thing is, you can give her all your inner trash. Doesn't bother her. No plastic, no wrappers, no nothing. But an unlimited amount of your anger, of your pain, of your grudges. Unlimited. And she dissolves it immediately in her waters. You don't have to worry, oh my God, how could I give that to Ganga? So as long as you're here, take that really special opportunity and offer it to her. Because that power is with you. That choice is with you. It's up to you. Before I take another of the questions that's come in advance, I'm happy to open it up to any questions that are here, if there are any. Yes.
Thank you for talking about liberation and this idea of freedom, and it makes sense a lot that we have our mental chains that we need to forgive and let loose. But what I'm struggling with right now is the biological chains. So I'm sure that in Hindu culture and in Indian culture, like the son's responsibility and of taking care of their parents, ensuring their well-being is very strong.
Yes.
So I've been trying to run away from that because I felt the burden for many years, trying to live in many countries. But when I ran away, I felt that something is missing.
Yes.
So I'm conflicted there.
Great question. First of all, that which keeps us stuck is never in the outside. It's always in the inside. That's why that moksha that we talk about is not something that happens after death. It's something that happens here in life. If by running away from your parents and running away from your responsibilities you could get moksha, then every hippie, every degenerate, every drug addict would be the highest level of spiritually awakened beings on the planet. Unfortunately, that's not the case. And interestingly, in our scriptures, if you look at the epics, the stories that are given to us, they're given to us with two components. One component is the message. So, for example, in the Bhagavad Gita, we have teachings that Bhagwan Krishna gives us. In the Ramayana, we have teachings that Bhagwan Ram gives us. That's one component. They're actual words. They're actual instructions. But the other component is their lives. So we actually have the life of Bhagwan Krishna. We have the life of Bhagwan Ram. And they've been given to us in the most beautiful ways because if you look at them, not just the teachings, but the lives, what you realize is, okay, think about it just from a perspective of common sense, not spirituality, not devotion, nothing, just basic common sense. Here we have God on earth. And so many problems. Family problems. How many times was Lord Krishna's life threatened and attempted before he was, 6? How many of us have ever been through that? Actually trying to be killed numerous times in early childhood? Look at Bhagwan Ram's life. The epitome of virtue. And again, forget for a moment that he's God on earth. Let's just look at the actual story of the incarnation in the form of a man. Epitome of virtue. Epitome of righteousness, goodness, obedience. And what does he get? Exiled. He's about to get coronated as king. It's his big day. He's the most deserving, the best son. And what happens? Due to a whole variety of jealousies and gossip and backstabbing and blah, 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 the same dramas that we all have in our own lives, not only does he not get coronated, but he gets sent off into the jungle. Perfect opportunity to say, no way. Forget it. Hell with you people. right? I mean, how many of us, having given our lives for something, would take that kind of betrayal? Surely he's God. Surely he could do something. Change her mind. Turn her into dust, ash. Surely he had that power. He could have done anything. He was God on earth. But he didn't. If you look at both of their lives, what you see is trial after trial, difficulty after difficulty, and nothing but a smile. Nothing but that sense of, this is my duty, I will bear it. And I will not just bear it and tolerate it, but I will love it, I will do it. There is nothing in our scriptures that says, run away and be free. Abandon your duties and be free. It's all about do your dharma and be free. So of course you're not going to find freedom abandoning your duties. Now, that doesn't mean that we have to live our lives according to our parents' agendas. Because we remember, as much as we revere our parents, love our parents, even worship our parents in our tradition, we bow to our parents as divine. But we also remember they too are humans. And they too are doing the very best that they can. And sometimes their particular fear, attachment, desire, agenda is not something that's in line with our highest dharma. And that becomes very delicate. Our duty is not to spend our entire lives doing everything that they want. Our duty is not to live our entire lives according to their agenda, or preventing them from facing their own anxieties or their own fears or their own attachments. But when it comes to the need of the parents in terms of the duty to take care of them, whether it's ensure that they are taken care of financially, taken care of medically, that's your duty. It's not about I'm gallivanting in Europe while there isn't food on the table at home. Or I'm gallivanting around while, a parent is having a medical crisis that I need to be there to take care of. So it's a very delicate line, but it's a very important line for us to find, because most of us tend to be one way or the other on a pendulum. Either we live our lives sort of bound by the vision, the norms, the agenda, the attachment of the parents, or we swing to the other side and we push them entirely away and I'm not going to do anything. And really the answer, as with most things, is somewhere in between. It's an awareness. There's a beautiful poem by Khalil Gibran, who's perhaps my favorite poet, if not one of my favorite poets. And he has a beautiful poem on parenting. And it's a poem written to the parents, basically telling them about how to be dharmic parents. And he speaks about how your children have come through you, but they are not of you. And your duty, and I'm paraphrasing and I apologize because the poem is so beautiful, but how your job is not to make them like you. but learn to be like them. Because time moves forward, not backwards. And he ends the poem by a beautiful metaphor of a bow and arrow. The parents as the bow, the arrow as the children. And he says, just as God loves the arrow that flies into tomorrow, so he loves the bow that is stable. Meaning, don't worry, you don't have to hold back your kids in order for your life to have value. You don't have to dictate them, control them, bind them, just for your life to have value. Let them fly. Let them be the arrow that flies, because they are already in tomorrow and you cannot hold them back. And realize that God also loves you as the bow from which they have gone forth into the world. So whether you're reading it from the perspective of the parent being taught or the child, it's a beautiful teaching. A beautiful, beautiful teaching. As parents, we should never seek to control our children. I mean, when they're very little kids, yes, of course, you don't let them run in the street. You don't let them, eat things that aren't good for them. You don't let them stick their fingers in light sockets. But as they grow, we should never seek to control them. We should not seek to make them like us. Because time moves forward. But you also have a duty as one who has been given life by them to serve them. I remember when I first took sannyas, Pujya Swamiji said to me, he said to me, when you vow to be in seva of the world, it's not the world minus those who have given you birth. It's the world. Most of us live exclusively in seva of those who gave us birth or those we give birth to. So a spiritual path is an expansion of that. But it's not an expansion that removes them from the picture. So as you expand spiritually, as you practice meditation, as you connect with the world, as you focus on loving kindness and compassion, realize that includes them also. And there is a duty to them. But the duty isn't to hand over your entire life. Somewhere between handing over your entire life and abandoning them to the farthest corners of the earth is where you're going to find the right answer. It's wonderful. Have a beautiful rest of your evening, and we'll see you all tomorrow.